Hey guys, welcome to my channel Lord of the Law. My name is Prateek Verma from Law Center 1, Faculty of Law, University of Delhi. In last video, we completed unitary features of Indian Constitution and we got to know the provisions by which we can say that India is not federal. And in today's video, we will discuss separation of power and compare it with parliamentary and the presidential form of government. And before that, you can subscribe to my channel and you can also follow Lord of the Law on Facebook. Links are given in the description box. See, the term separation of power has been used by various philosophers, but it was elaborated by Montesquieu in his book L'Esprit des Lois. Montesquieu was French philosopher who said, the reason why king has become a monster and he is dominating you, राजा इतना powerful क्यों बन गया है? Because you have concentrated all the powers in him. He is allowed to make law, he is allowed to execute the law, and he is giving you justice. मैं बताया था ना शाहजहां वाला example. First of all, he made a law that he is going to build a Taj Mahal, and he himself executed the law by building Taj Mahal. And when workers' hands were chopped, he himself gave the justice to them. So, when you give all the powers to him, then don't blame him. You gave all the powers to him. Then we asked him, Minter Montesquieu, what is the solution? How can we prevent the king from becoming a demon? He gave a single answer. He said, divide his powers. Give law-making power to one body, law-executing power to one body, and judiciary function to other body. इससे होगा क्या? Suppose if lawmakers are not in full mind, or they have become corrupt, who will prevent them from making faulty law? Judiciary. Or if they make some faulty law, executive will prevent them that we will not implement the law. What if legislature and executive both are in excess? Then judiciary will again prevent them. And what if judiciary itself is corrupt? Then both will remove the judge. This way, he said, please divide the power. Because itself no one is complete. And they have to take the help of others and others may not be corrupt. और यही है separation of power, which brings checks and balances also. One organ will keep a check on other two organ, or other two organ are keeping a check on one organ. And this way all the three organs are equal and none is above. All are maintaining a kind of balance. And then liberty of common man is ensured. ये आइडिया सबसे पहली बार मॉन्टेस्क्यू के दिमाग में आया था. And USA was the first country where this principle was applied. When American Constitution was brought into force, this was the design they had. Now see, this is the structure of American state and this is the structure of Indian state. India में first you become part of legislature means first you become MP and then some MPs are made ministers and then this group of ministers are called as COM, Council of Ministers or Executive. इसी को हम लोग गवर्नमेंट बोलते हैं. Now this government is headed by Prime Minister और ये आपका जुडिशरी. Now the whole box is Indian state headed by President. Now see, separation of power is there in India also. Means legislature, executive, judiciary are three different organs here also. But यहाँ difference क्या है? That here what you call the executive is taken out from the legislature. Means executive is a part of legislature. Whereas in US model, what you call as executive or the group of ministers is not the part of legislature. यहाँ complete separation of power है. Now if I ask you another question, see, America has got presidential system of government. Executive को head कौन कर रहा है? President. And the whole state America, they are represented by president. Same person. Same person is the head of government and same person is the head of the state. और हमारे यहाँ क्या है? Prime Minister is the head of government and President is the head of state. ठीक है? This is also a difference of presidential system and parliamentary system. Here you find separation of power among the three organs to be watertight. And here separation of power is there, but it's not that much clear. Executive is always sub part of the legislature. वो अलग नहीं है. And other thing is checks and balances. Now see, checks and balances are in both systems, presidential as well as parliamentary. But ज़्यादा कहाँ है? Parliamentary में. See, presidential as well as parliamentary system both will have separation of power and checks and balances. But the degree of separation of power in presidential form of government is more and it's more clear and it's more neat. And the separation of power is not that clear in parliamentary form of government because the executive is the part of legislature. The reason why there are more checks and balances in parliamentary form of government because executive is accountable towards Lok Sabha. मीन्स लोकसभा के पास वो ताकत है कि वो एग्जीक्यूटिव को पनिश कर सके एंड लोकसभा हैज गॉट एनफ नंबर ऑफ टूल्स टू पनिश गवर्नमेंट. फॉर एग्जांपल, नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन. No confidence motion can only be brought in Lok Sabha against the government, and if it is passed in Lok Sabha, then government is gone. Another thing is confidence motion. Confidence motion is a kind of motion which, if brought in Lok Sabha by the government, where it wants to prove that we are popular in the house, and if it fails, अगर ये पास नहीं हुआ, then government will fall. Third thing by which Lok Sabha can punish the government is vote of thanks. Vote of thanks is a kind of tool. If it is defeated in Lok Sabha, सरकार गिर जाएगी. And another big thing by which government can fall is by not passing the money bill. When money bill is brought by the government and if it fails in Lok Sabha, then government will fall. इसके अलावा there is one more tool, that is question hour. During question hour, parliament can scrutinize the work of the government. अब देखो हुआ क्या था, इंडो चाइना वॉर हुई. The defense minister was grilled after the war in parliament. He had to resign under the pressure, right? And let me tell you, there was a deal between LIC and Mundra Group. Mundra Group is a private group. एक deal हुई and it was alleged that there was some financial irregularities. Corruption हुआ था इस deal के अंदर. And the finance minister who had to face the Lok Sabha, he had to resign because he could not give satisfactory answer. मतलब during question hour, government is put to talk, and if the government cannot give satisfactory answer, they will have to leave the office. तो कहने का मतलब ये है that there are so many tools in parliamentary system by which Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha can punish the government. Now see, in presidential system also, legislature can punish the government. In America also, American Parliament Congress can punish the government. But there is only one big tool, and that tool is impeachment of the president. If the Congress impeach the American president, he will have to leave the office. And along with him, all the ministers will have to leave the office. सरकार गिर जाएगी. It's very difficult process which is practically impossible. So what I meant to tell you is that both form of governments have tools to punish the government. But the number of tools and complexity of using the tool is more here, that is in parliamentary form of government, and less in presidential form of government. In parliamentary system, government can be removed easily. And in presidential system, government may not be able to be removed. Now tell me, can government also put a check on parliament? अब आप ये देखो, legislature passes the bill which becomes a law. अब आप बताओ, who introduces the bill to the house? See, except for private member bill, all the bills are introduced by government. So it is the government control on which the house is working. Or you can say, executive is from the party who enjoys majority in legislature. So obviously executive is in position to control the lawmakers also. If they are proactive, they will bring good laws, and if they are passive and sleepy, then parliament is also sleepy. Now see how judiciary controls the executive. Judicial review. Suppose police arrested you, and police is under the control of home minister, right? So police arrested you wrongly. Then you will go to judiciary. Then judiciary will give warning to government that what is your police doing? It's very wrong, human rights violation. Or if military uses AFSPA, Armed Forces Special Power Act, and the people who are getting abused by this law, they will go to judiciary. Then judiciary will give warning to defense minister that take care of human rights violation in these areas. कहने का मतलब है that judiciary can act against the law implementers by giving them warnings or reversing their action. Suppose government arrested you wrongly, judiciary will get you released. Lawmakers made a bad law, judiciary can turn down the law. So all the three organs are having enough tools by which they can act against each other's action. In presidential system also, they can act against each other, but the tools available for them are very less and it's difficult. तो checks and balances parliamentary system में ज़्यादा है. Now you may think that why we have created this system in which government can fall easily and we did not give priority to stability. देखो simple है that your experience will define your way of life. If you have bitter experiences, you become very cautious. So we had very bad experience with Britishers. What they did was they formed the government which came for once, but it remained for 200 years. हमने कहा ये बहुत लंबा टाइम है. We said At most, the government should remain for 5 years, and there should be always the provision if the government which we chose was not good, we could call it back. And for Americans, their experience was not that kind of bitter, and they wanted not to destabilize the government now and then. Even when you remove the government, that also is not good. It actually erodes the faith of people in democracy. So presidential system lays greater stress on stability of the executive rather than responsibility, and in parliamentary system we put greater stress on the concept of responsibility of executive or accountability of the executive rather than stability. And let me tell you that this doctrine of separation of power is dilatory, means the doctrine in its classical sense, which is structural rather than functional, and it cannot be literally applied to any modern government because neither the powers of the government can be kept in watertight compartment nor can government run on a strict separation of power. So in modern days, strict separation of power does not exist in any of the countries such as England, USA or India, right? However, it would be very wrong to say that the doctrine has no relevance in today's world because the aim of this doctrine is to guard against tyrannical or arbitrary powers of the state, and the logic behind this doctrine is still valid. The logic is of polarity rather than strict classification. And let me tell you, it is not meant to affirm that the organs of the government must be kept wholly and entirely separate और उसके बीच में कोई common connection ना हो या कोई dependence ना हो. The true meaning is that the whole power of one of these departments should not be exercised by the same hand which possesses the whole power of either of the other departments. और अगर ऐसा होता है, then it would subvert the principles of free constitution. So we have completed separation of power, and in next video we will start with preamble, and make sure you have subscribed my channel, and thanks for watching Lot of the Law. Meet you in the next video.